I wish more people would see the beauty that exists in this country.
Every Black person, every Black American, every Black, whatever nationality you are, needs to visit Ghana because you will find your roots when you do, like I did.
Because of my job here in Ghana, I get to host tourists from different parts of the world. Talk of the US, UK, Canada, India, Nigeria, Kenya, you name it. But majority of my guests are from the United States because, as you know, African Americans especially have deep ties with West Africa, with Ghana. And so every year we see a lot of Americans come here to Ghana to experience it, and they love it. Some come for vacation, to have fun. Some come to reconnect with Africa. Others come thinking about relocating here. And a few arrive thinking of how to invest in Ghana. Almost every single one of them arrive with some expectations, only to discover that Ghana is completely different from what they had imagined. Some of these surprises for them are good. Some are challenging, but all of them are real. So today in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 8 things that shock Americans the most when they visit Ghana. Note that I'm going to be sharing these with you from the point of view of a Ghanaian who lives and works in Ghana. Now, in case we're meeting for the first time, my name is Atswei. I'm a travel curator based here in Ghana. And when tourists are headed here and want to have a real cultural experience, exciting experience, I'm the girl to get in touch with. So I've got tours to our slave dungeons, our beaches, our markets, several activities, various sites in Ghana, including the hidden gems. So basically, curating tours and hosting groups in Ghana is my calling. Now, let's talk about the 8 things that shock Americans the most when they visit Ghana. Numero uno, the number one shock is that Ghana is actually more modern than they expected. They have this very low expectation of Ghana that when they get here and they see the luxury hotels, luxury restaurants, shopping malls and co-working spaces and all of these big businesses, they're like, oh my goodness, I did not think of Ghana like this. And honestly, this shocks me too every time, because I'm like, how can you not know? They tell me that the propaganda by the Western media is so strong that the narrative of Africa presented to them back home is not the true reflection of what actually is. Ghana is absolutely beautiful and a lot of people should see it. If you're one of those like, oh my God, I want to come to Ghana. Ghana has been on my list. You should come to the motherland. You should come and visit at least and see things for yourself. Don't let the Western media sell you a narrative of what Africa is, of what Ghana is. Come to Ghana and see things for yourself. Come and experience the people. Come and taste the food. And then you tell me whether whatever idea you had of Ghana back home is still the same. Second shock Americans get when they come to Ghana is that people talk to you. Here in Ghana, people talk to you. Ghana is the place where we give a new meaning to no man is an island. A lot of Americans will easily admit that back at home or back in America, you can go throughout the day without speaking with strangers. Well, in Ghana, good luck with that, because that's not happening. People will greet you. People will ask how you're doing, how your family is doing, how your work is doing, how life is treating you. It's a very communal place where you don't do life by yourself. Emotional support, having a village that cares about you or that is concerned about your well-being, Ghana is going to give you that. At first, some visitors find it unusual, but by the end of their trip, it's one of the things they actually get to miss about Ghana. At the end of the trip, they're like, oh my God, Ghanaians are so friendly. They care about you. I think a lot of Americans are shocked by this, and it's a good kind of shock. Shock number 3 that a lot of Americans, especially African Americans, have when they come to Ghana is the feeling of being surrounded by people who look like you. I've had so many guests who tell me, like on day 1, as soon as I pick them up from the airports, that this is the first time that they even got on a plane where almost everyone was a black person, where it felt like black people's party, where black people just, got a plane for themselves and they're like, we're traveling. And then when they land from the immigration, during the tours, all of that, they don't have to explain their skin color. They don't have to feel like they're being profiled, or they don't have to face racism or anything. I think that is like one of the things I've felt the most emotional about when tourists share this on trips, because that's really, really deep. To be in a place where you're just surrounded by people who have the same color of your skin, and even though you may not even speak their native languages, or you may not have their ethnic experiences, you just kind of connect because of the color of your skin. That's something that's special.
When I got off the plane in Ghana, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I am in Africa, and I was so excited. I started feeling like, I belonged here.
I've watched it happen so many times. I've listened to guests say this. At some point during the trip, they stopped talking about monuments, attractions, and activities, and they actually start talking about how they feel. Because for the first time in a long time, they are in a place where blackness is simply normal, not explained, not questioned, just normal. And that can be surprisingly powerful. So shock number 4 that Americans get when they come to Ghana is that Ghana actually feels much safer than they expected. And I get this so many times. See, as someone who curates lots of tours for Americans, one of the top questions I get, especially from female travelers, is Ghana safe? Is Ghana safe for me? I let people know, of course, that you're safe for everywhere you go, every country you go. As somebody who travels, you should have, there are some precautions that you take because you got to be street smart, But generally, you're very safe in Ghana. Ghana is one of the safest places in Africa that you can travel to. And I try to assure my guests all the time. So I do that. It's one thing, me assuring you, and it's another thing, you getting to Ghana and actually experiencing it. And then you're like, oh my goodness, now you're right. Ghana is so safe. Because sometimes we go out as late as, 2 a.m., 1 a.m., we're still like on the Oxford Street or attending some festival, some event, party, something like that, and they feel totally safe. Many realize their fears were based on assumptions rather than reality. Can crime happen in Ghana? Of course, like anywhere else in the world. But many visitors tell me they feel more relaxed than they expected. They see families out, they see people enjoying themselves, they see communities functioning, and their perception begins to change. And trust me, for somebody who does this kind of work, it brings me a lot of joy when tourists tell me that they felt safe in Ghana during their trip. Shock number 5, the food is incredible. See, Americans are so shocked by a couple of things about our food, right? So 1, they love the food. 2, about the food, they get surprised at how spicy our food is. Our food is really spicy. And 3, they get shocked at the quantity of the food, like the serving each person gets. So for example, you order a plate of jollof rice, the serving for each person is a lot. They're like, that's a lot of food. And for a lot of the tourists that I go out with, whether lunch, breakfast, dinner, you can tell they don't eat much. They don't eat much. Americans definitely don't eat as much as we do. From hosted tours, I can tell you this for a fact. Like, Americans are the people that when I'm hosting and there's, let's say, a buffet of meals, they leave they have a quarter and leave the whole stuff. They just leave it. Like every single time. I find that our portion sizes are just too much for them. They're like, all of this for one person? Well, yeah. And I think that this is so because for them, looking at the American culture, you eat so many times in a day. It's generally a starter, and then you have the main meal, you have a dessert. After, in between meals, you have snacks, you have, you take so many things before you eventually end the day. But for us here in Ghana, we don't have as many meals. You're sitting down to eat enough food that will take you throughout the day. People are going to construction works, people are going to get, hard jobs done. They don't have time to eat, we say soppy. You don't have time to eat small. You eat a large meal and then you get on with your day. Maybe 1 or 2 meals a day, you're good. So people have food heavy and then they get on with their day. Shock number 6. This one really shocks the American guests in Ghana. Time. The Ghana man time. They get to find out that the time works differently here in Ghana. And what do I mean? So typically you find that the American works, they're very time schedule based, very focused on time. If we say event is starting at 4 p.m., it's starting at 4, we're done by 6, get on with your day. But things are a little bit flexible in Ghana. It's not tight like that. In Ghana, things are not fine like that, so there's a lot of flexibility. We say the event will start at 4, but maybe we'll start at 5 or 6 p.m.-ish, and this is a problem. This is actually really challenging for a lot of Americans. When you order food, you're told it's going to be ready in 20 minutes, but it will actually be ready in 40 minutes. If you're not lucky, maybe 45 or get into 1 hour. And this is really frustrating because the American is used to a lot of fast food. And for Ghana, a lot of these meals are being prepared, sometimes fresh on fire, just for you. A kotomre stew or okra stew or, all these things are being prepared fresh. And it's not fast food. And so you are here and you're like, I have to wait for 40 minutes for a meal. I have to wait for 50 minutes, an hour or more for a meal. That's crazy. That's crazy to an American. And sometimes I just have to, especially when we do orientation before the trip starts, so that people have these expectations in mind that sometimes things will delay, so let's leave a little room for that so that when it happens, we are not caught off guard. And it does happen a lot. I'm not even going to lie about that. It really does happen in Ghana. That's something that a lot of Americans who visit Ghana have a challenge adjusting with. And yeah, they don't understand why everything should take so long. And I get it. Trust me, I understand. Shock number 7. The American who visits Ghana is shocked that Ghana is not as cheap as they thought. So there are 2 ways I'm going to explain this, right? For a lot of people who come on vacation, they're prepared. They know the dollar has some weight over the city. They're just spending 7 days or 10 days or maybe 2 weeks max here, and then they're gone. So they're prepared for that. So those people don't really feel that Ghana might be expensive or Ghana is expensive. Just had a good time and they're gone. I think the people who feel this the most are people who come to Ghana to stay. For some people, they've probably just come by once, okay? And it was good. They had a good time. Or some people have not even visited Ghana, so they're like, I'm going to Ghana, I'm relocating, I'm going to leave citizenship or whatever it is. Then they realize all of a sudden, oh my God, I actually really underestimated Ghana. I really underestimated Ghana. Accommodation is not cheap, especially if you want to live in prime Accra areas. It's not cheap at all. People want money 1 year, 2 years up front. If you don't plan well, you're going to find Ghana really expensive because it's not vacation mode anymore. This is, you're living here for years. And if you've not done your planning well, your budgeting well, you're going to have a hard time adjusting to the prices. That is a real shocker for a lot of Americans who relocate here. Depending on the lifestyle you're living in Ghana, Ghana can be very expensive, very, very expensive. Shock number 8, a lot of African Americans are shocked by the emotional impact of the slave dungeons. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a heavy toll for me to do each and every time. You can have like a regular day, be having conversations on your way to the sites, and then as soon as you get there, the mood changes. And eventually when the tour is done, you just know that your guests are not the same. The kind of emotions they pour out is unbelievable. And for some, they did not expect that they will feel the way they felt. I've taken a lot of Americans there, I've taken lots of diasporans there, and really, it's not a tourist attraction. It's an experience. I've seen strong people leave speechless. And for many African Americans, this becomes the most meaningful part of the trip. Real feelings, real emotions, and sometimes after the tour, like, we just go quiet because you just want them to be in their moments. They've come all the way to experience this, and you just want them to have their moment. This is a bonus shock. So shock number 9, the number of American guests I've had who, when they're leaving, they're like, nah, I want to come back. I've had a couple of guests actually return, and some want to come back and back and back. Some want to come and live in Ghana, because they felt something they've never felt before. They never imagined that they'll visit Ghana and they'll tell themselves, I'm going to be back here in this country. They didn't see that coming. So it's always a shock. And airport drop-offs for those people can be tough. Within that 1 week or 2 weeks they've spent here, you're like family to them. They remember the food, the smiles, the hugs, and they feel the genuine love, and people are really shocked that when they're leaving, they're like, I'm going to come back. I want to come back to Ghana. And they're always shocked by this. I'm really not shocked by that anymore. A lot of people want to come back, and some people actually do. Yeah. So these are my 8 plus 1 shocks Americans get when they visit Ghana. And I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you can resonate with some of these things, especially if you have visited Ghana already. And if you haven't visited Ghana already, what are you waiting for? What's going on? Anyway, don't forget, if you want to visit Ghana, you don't know where to start from, you would love a curator to help you through the experience, you would love for somebody to work on your itinerary for you, your group, your family, your friends, whatever, I've got you. My socials are going to be in the description box. My email is also going to be there as well. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. It'll be an absolute pleasure helping you plan your Ghana trip or hosting you here in Ghana. And yeah, also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with somebody who will find it useful. I'll see you in my next video. Take care and bye-bye.